Nissan CEO has admitted the company will go bankrupt unless somebody saves them. So who's going to save them? Well, Nissan are hoping that Tesla will jump in and save them. It's either that or, well, they could go the way of Fisker or Lordstown Motors or Nikola or, well, one of many other brands that have gone bankrupt over the last 2 years. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. This is really getting interesting. Finally, Nissan CEO is admitting the truth. Guys, I do kind of enjoy the feeling of being vindicated to some degree, because people said I was being exaggerating, that I was making it up, that Nissan wasn't in trouble. Oh, the Electric Vikings he doesn't like Nissan. Well, now that every major ratings agency in the world, not just one of them, all four of them have downgraded Nissan to junk, and the CEO has admitted the fact that the company will go bankrupt unless someone comes in and saves them, well, it proves the point I've been making now for years. Nissan won't survive without some kind of massive external investor. In addition to that, the company has revealed, well, it's saying to shareholders, brace for impact, because we're about to reveal our loss over our last quarter, and it's not good. Here's something I've been saying. The mainstream media has been reporting that Nissan is still making a profit. And I've been saying that's not true. And fortunately for me, Nissan CEO agrees with me. So the mainstream media and Nissan, they're on two different pages. Mainstream media is saying, no, look, they're making lots of money still. Nissan CEO is saying, no. Yeah, no. In fact, we're about to lose $540 million. That's US dollars, by the way, not Australian. That's US dollars. So I still think if you read the mainstream media and you read all the stuff when they've got a vested interest, when Nissan's paying for advertising for that particular car website, when Nissan's paying for advertising for that particular publication that you're watching, reading, you've got to understand the fact they're not going to tell you the truth, and they have not been for years now. There's been numerous articles here in Australia saying Nissan's great. Don't worry, buy a Nissan today. Buy a Nissan, please buy one. They're great cars. The company's fine. Everything's fine. Don't read these media reports. I can actually, if you really want me to, I can put links in the description below. But I think you know that it's true. I'm pretty sure you've seen them. So, as I continue to say, if you are reading any website on the internet and there is advertising on that website from other car manufacturers, do you really think they're going to be completely objective in what they say? The answer is abundantly clear. Do not buy a Nissan. That is freaking insane. Very exclusive event here in Newcastle. Saturday, the 15th of March from 3 to 5 p.m. I'll be speaking here with just a couple of other speakers. Very small event. So you can meet me in person. You can actually have a look at my EV as well, the Xpeng G6. Test that out. I'll put a link in the description below to the event. I believe that the tickets will probably sell out very, very quickly. So if you're from Sydney, from Brisbane, from Newcastle, make sure you click on that link as quickly as possible to get in. I think there's only around 30 tickets left at this point in time. I'll put that link in the description and I'll see you there. Nissan is the most likely company in the world, the most likely large car company in the world to go bankrupt. If their CEO is saying this, we won't survive. He's telling you that information. If you go and buy a Nissan today, what is the likelihood Nissan's going to be around for you in 5, 10 years to provide you with parts, to fix your car? You tell me what the likelihood is. It's exactly zero. However, I shouldn't say it's zero. The truth is Nissan could be picked up by another company, maybe Geely, something like that, the brand. The question is then, though, will that company want to honor all the old warranties and supply you with all the old internal combustion engine parts? Will they be able to profit from that? Probably not. I can't see that as being a viable part of the business that they'd want to continue on with. A merger between Nissan and Honda is now off the table. Honda says Nissan's CEO, for one, has to go. He has to be fired. A new report says Nissan is considering accepting some investment from another car maker in the country. Now, this could see it embark on some kind of collaboration with Honda as well as Mitsubishi. The truth is all three of these car companies will be sinking on the same Titanic ship. It doesn't make any difference if they join together or not. all of them are in trouble. They just don't realize it yet. Of course, Mitsubishi is most certainly in trouble, and for the fact the media continue to ignore the fact that Mitsubishi sales are declining, their profits are declining, and they have no reason to believe that's going to change anytime soon. It means Mitsubishi is at tremendous risk itself. Think about it. The company's only selling 750,000 cars a year. That is nothing. That is literally such a small number. They can easily swing into the black, or they can easily swing into the red within the space of only a few months' time. We've just seen the sales numbers from China, right? China is where Mitsubishi basically went bankrupt in China last year. Or was it the year before? Anyway, it was one of those. Mitsubishi left everything behind. They left their assets behind, so-called assets, car factories. Their assets are now they're worth millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars according to the book value. Yeah, that book value is nonsensical. If it was worth that much money, Mitsubishi would have sold off those factories. They left, and since then, Mitsubishi's car sales continue to decline. The entire Japanese automotive industry is at enormous risk. And this is going to be a huge drain on the Japanese economy. I believe it's going to plunge the Japanese economy into a chronic depression, which will affect the rest of the world. And that will likely happen within the next 5 years. But I'll do a members only video talking about that. A report out of Japan claims that Nissan still wants to work with Honda, and the brand is in a precarious financial position, appears to be willing to do anything it takes to survive. This could include the sacking of the current CEO, who has led the brand since 2019. It's understood that if Nissan decides to take on investment from Honda, Ukita could be pushed out, Nikkei Business reports. The executive has previously said he will not stand in the way if Nissan's nomination committee, who are his buddies, the board of directors, and shareholders decide that he should be sent packing. Now, I should point out, before I continue, for those of you if you're new to the channel, the corporate culture at Nissan is a sick joke. I don't say this about companies lightly. I've never said this about Mercedes-Benz. I've never said this about Audi. I've never said this about many, many companies. But Nissan has the worst corporate culture of any car company in the world. Worse than Nikola, worse than Lordstown Motors, worse than Fisker. It is not even comparable. Not even remotely comparable. Now, to make my point for you, do you know of any private spying going on at those car companies? Do you know if Honda or Toyota or BYD or Tesla, are they putting video cameras all throughout your house and listening devices to see everything you do, having private spies track you everywhere in order to try to find any dirt they can if you're the CFO or the COO? This is the kind of thing that Nissan does. In fact, this is the kind of thing Nissan has done numerous times. Nissan is not just, it's not just sales are going down. It's not just the fact that they have a upcoming debt bond payment of $7.8 billion that they can't pay. It's also the fact that the corporate culture is a joke. Why do you think Honda wants the CEO gone? Because he is the biggest problem. He is the one responsible for creating the sick corporate culture at Nissan. I've reported on this numerous times. And guess what? Nissan have never tried to sue me. They've never sent me a cease and desist letter because everything I've said is accurate. I've never shared any information about the company that isn't accurate. It's all things that have been reported. Now, to find this information is pretty challenging. Japan doesn't like this information to be revealed. According to a Nissan insider, the nomination committee will meet on the 6th of March to discuss the next steps. If Ukita does get pushed out, current chief financial officer, Jeremy Papin, could take over on an interim basis. He could be charged with leading the new negotiations with Honda. In my opinion, the only way to fix this corporate culture at Nissan is to fire all of them. The board needs to go. All the executives, all of them need to go. They need to be replaced or just gotten rid of entirely, and then the company potentially becomes part of another company. Bloomberg understands that Ukita has been eager to steady Nissan's business before leaving his post. He wants to save face. He doesn't want to basically leave the company and make it look like he's the one that sunk the ship. However, he recently told shareholders to expect a $536 million net loss for the fiscal year ending in March, despite having previously said the company would make a $2.5 billion net profit. Now, I've had arguments online. People saying, you're wrong. Nissan's going to make billions of dollars in profit. And I said, that is bullshit. That is not true. That is Nissan. This is their corporate culture, just lying to the public. I mean, imagine if Tesla, right, came out in the United States, said, guys, oh, investors, it's all good. We're going to make $2.5 billion, right? And Tesla privately knew, actually, we're going to lose $5 536 million, not make 2.5 billion. Now, the SEC would prosecute them, I assume. Now, let's get rid of the current situation with Trump in charge. Just assume business as usual. That's the sort of thing a company should be prosecuted for. Of course, it's Japan, so the Japanese government won't do anything. Foxconn has been a player in talks about Nissan's future in recent months. It's understood the Taiwanese giant's potential interest in gobbling up the automaker last year was one of the reasons why Japanese authorities pressured Honda into teaming up with Nissan, eager to ensure Nissan remained Japanese. Now, of course, Foxconn is based in Taiwan, and if you ask China, then Taiwan is part of China. If you ask Taiwan, well, Taiwan is Taiwan. After negotiations between Nissan and Honda to develop a joint holding company fell through, which wasn't really a joint holding company, it was Honda taking over Nissan, Ukeda said it would be difficult for Nissan to survive without a partner. In fact, he didn't say it would be difficult, he said it would be impossible. Under the current situation, it is difficult to keep up with competition just by Nissan itself. So we had a serious discussion about the proposal by Honda. We were unable to have confidence in how much Nissan's independence will be ensured and whether our potential will be fully brought out if Nissan becomes Honda's wholly owned subsidiary. In other words, Honda is saying, you become our subsidiary or we want nothing to do with this mess. We can fix the mess if we can take over completely. But if we can't, this barrel of apples, which is quickly rotting, will continue to rot. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? How do you see this playing out? Let me know what you think in the comments.